Good morning, July 21st, 2020, Hamptons Market Report Update. I'm John Watson from My Kitchen Table to Yours. In my travels around the Hamptons, I see more and more people without masks and using them as chin straps. I certainly hope that we're not going to have a resurgence. However, with what I see lately, I'm not so optimistic. I have seen some good spacing at the beaches, but it's on the sidewalks and the villages and whatnot. That's a little concerning. This week, I'm not going to discuss market stats, but rather what occurs when selling or buying a home in the Hamptons. Is the home legally able to be transferred? When I take a listing, I research the home's legal use. I look for what the property's CO is, or CC, which is Certificate of Compliance, and see if that matches up with everything I see around the property, such as patios, decks, COs for number of bedrooms, those kinds of things, pools, etc. And see if it matches. And if it doesn't match, I bring that up to the attention of the sellers. Sometimes we have a finished basement without a permit. In addition, we turn rooms into bedrooms. The bedroom count may increase to the point where it's above what the septic system can handle. We can look at the blueprints. We go into municipal, we go into town halls. Not everyone has their information online, and certainly a lot of the online information may or may not be complete. I know that's true here in our town in Southampton. They do a good job of scanning, but there are some documents that can be missed. You know, a buyer, generally speaking, when you do your due diligence, you inspect the home, you hire a home engineer, and if you have a bank, you have a bank appraiser, and they look and count the number of bedrooms. They look for what the CO says, the title company does, the buyer's lawyer looks to see if it all matches. Sometimes it doesn't match, and therein lies the rub. So when taking a listing as a broker, I try to take care of whatever I see if by chance something is built without a permit. Innocently enough, some things, I've seen some swimming pools where the owners thought the swimming pool company would file for the permit and the electrical underwriters, and they didn't. You know, there are some issues like that. This can slow down a property on its transfer. So if you have something that was done or built, you extended a deck, and the new survey is showing it's bigger than it's supposed to be, or it was never there before and the town doesn't know about it, then you have to apply to the town for a building permit. And today a lot of buyers and buyer councils are requiring an updated CO. That came out of the mortgage crisis back in 2006, 7, and 8, where a lot of banks took back properties and they found there were a lot of non-permitted uses in them, and they had to cure it prior to transferring. No buyer is going to want to take on someone else's risk. Generally speaking, there are some that will, but there's usually a big discount. So in the beginning, I tried to do whatever I can preventively to make sure that the property is legally able to be transferred to the extent that we can. Sometimes that requires a new CO. Sometimes that requires, a new survey and a new updated CO. Today, that seems to be the buzzword. The title companies want it, the buyers want it. And what an updated CO does is, this is July 2020, would bring your property, for example, this house that I live in was built in 1986. So we would ask for its updated CO of this 1986 dwelling to comply with 2020 building codes and rules. That may require that we do some things. I don't have a pool, but if I did, I would need pool alarms. If we finish the basement without a permit, we would need that. Whatever it is that these new codes are, you might have to cure. One of the big things is smoke alarms. They want smoke alarms now in every bedroom and in all the hallways, etc. That's kind of an easy fix to do. But this all adds time. So if you're buying a house and the investigation, the due diligence of it, either the home inspector, engineer, or appraiser picks up something that's not there on the CO, now you have to apply to the township that it's in order to get this updated CO. They'll require a new survey, a building permit application, and then certain towns only inspect certain areas on certain days of the week or month. So this can add quite a bit of time when you're trying to sell the home. So for example, if they come into Southampton area on Thursday and they inspect and everything is fine, that's great. Then it takes about 10 days to 2 weeks to process the paperwork. But if they find something wrong and have a recommendation or something they want fixed prior to issuing a compliance or an updated CO, now you have to arrange to have that done with a contractor or yourself if you're a handy homeowner. And then you have to call them up again and have it re-inspected. That could be next week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be a month. So now you have it re-inspected, you hope that will come into compliance and you'll be able to obtain your CC or CO and move forward. So the whole point of it is that it would be easier in advance as a seller and make it smoother if you had gone through the updated CO process when you bring a property to market. If it's within a couple of years, you haven't done any work, well, then I guess you really don't have anything to think about. But if you did do something, you know, build a pool house, add a pool, hot tub spa, finish the basement, expanded the deck, or turned some extra rooms into bedrooms, which weren't bedrooms before as families grow and now the home is everything, you know, then you might want to investigate that. That makes for a much more smoother transaction, such as if you're looking at a house and say it's being promoted by a brokerage as 6 bedrooms, yet you go to the town, you find out it's really 4 bedrooms. Well, that brings up a whole nother issue in terms of building codes, safety and health, inspection, whether or not the work was done properly, whether or not it meets plumbing and electrical codes, and lastly, sanitary codes. It's typical septic system, the beginning septic system is for up to 4 bedrooms, and after that, if you have 5 bedrooms, 6 bedrooms, 8 bedrooms, the size of the septic system increases. So this can all delay the sale of a home, whether you're buying it or selling it. So it's always a good idea to look at everything. Going in, representing buyers, I do the same research as I do when I'm representing a seller. I definitely take a look into the property and see what I can find out and hope that everything is smooth. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen a lot. And this has been based on my experience of over 30 years being in the business. I'm not a lawyer, so certainly any of these issues you should speak to counsel about. But these are issues that I've directly been involved with where I've run into. I've run into finished basements, I've run into pools, I've run into additions, I've run into decks, I've run into too many bedrooms where the septic system was not large enough. I've had all these issues occur and they all slow down the closing process. So when you bring a house to market, it's great to have a review of everything and make sure that everything is kosher, as we would say. And as a buyer going in, of course, you have to do all your due diligence. I'm 110% proponent of doing due diligence. You know, everyone should know what they're buying, and no one has a gun to their head to buy a house if it doesn't fit or if it's not, you know, legally in compliance. You shouldn't have to take on someone's risk. That's just my own point of view. I'm John Watson. I'm a real estate broker, and you can reach me by call or text at 516-551-6404, or you can email me at john@hamptonsbroker.com, or you can visit my website at hamptonsrealestatebroker.com. You guys have a great day. The humidity broke. It's not as hot. It's a beautiful dry day. Get out there in the Hamptons. Take care.